Hey again, everybody. So today I want to talk about attraction, and attraction in two ways: in the attraction that we give and receive from people, and the attraction that we have towards things, hobbies, interests, and things that we do every day, or the choices that we make. So to start off, I've been thinking about this kind of attraction that we have towards other people, and not necessarily just romantically, but also with friendships and just general people that we think are cool, or people that think that we are cool, and kind of the reason why behind that. And this topic has been in my mind because I've talked to a few friends recently about attracting rather than pursuing. And of course, this has been mostly within the context of dating and women, but I think also kind of tackling it in the context of opportunity and friends and just things in general, I think can be a bit more of a strengthening perspective on self worth and what we deserve. So, to start off with the obvious kind of part of this attraction of when it comes to romantic feelings and what is attractive to us and what is attractive in us to other people. So, kind of going down to the roots of why we are attracted to certain people and the reasons behind it. And this isn't really something you can tie down or put a specific day or reason behind you like what you like. And, this isn't really supposed to be going into any sort of sexual commentary, but more so just the qualities that we like in the person that we want to spend the rest of our lives with us, right? And somebody who's trustworthy, somebody that brings out the best in us, we bring out the best in them, somebody that we can grow with. And that phrase right there, somebody that we can grow with, I think is the most important phrase when it comes to attraction and pursuit. And this is something that I think is often overlooked for, maybe more vain or more temporary qualities, especially when it comes to physical qualities. And while I don't think that, being physically attracted to somebody at the start of a relationship is necessarily a negative thing, we all have types. We all have the look that we like, and there's nothing wrong with that. And I think it's you have a pretty high chance of finding somebody that has the look that you like, and also the personality, if you look long enough and you look hard enough. And this is something in which that is a very naive, very hopeful thing to say, but I really I hope that it's true, and I want it to be true. And when it comes to those qualities though that we want on a personality level, on a character level, that we want somebody who's responsible, somebody who's trustworthy, and like I said earlier, somebody that we can grow with. And so kind of taking a step back and looking at why we are attracted to what we are. Because so often I hear people complain, friends complain, like, oh, like, dude, I always have such, just manipulative people that I go out with, and then they do this, and I feel horrible, I feel less of a person, they don't appreciate me, it's a one sided thing. Why does this always happen? And when people say that to me and I hear those complaints, or even when I do that, when I have that same complaint, then you kind of have to step back and think, okay, what's the common denominator between all of these? And it's me, right? And that's not to say like, oh, I'm always the problem, because there's always going to be problems on both sides, but sometimes maybe it's your approach, maybe it is this type that you think that you want to be with, and having a reflection on why this particular thing is attractive to you, and whether or not that is something that is based on virtue, based on what you actually want. And it's not easy to just say, okay, I guess I won't be attracted to this anymore and that'll fix it, because that's not necessarily true. But more so the point is that if you're having the same thing happen every time you get into a relationship where you have fights with friends and kind of the same thing happens every single time, then you have to kind of look at, okay, what part of our personalities is clashing here, and why are they clashing? And what is it in them that I don't like? What is it in me that they don't like? And so what is the reason behind my attraction to them in the first place? And how can I kind of take the bits and pieces of this that I did like and then look for in the next plus more? And that should always be kind of what the goal is of dating, of friendships, that you're looking for qualities in other people that you find attractive, that even if it doesn't work out with them, then you may have found out more qualities that you do like and that you don't like, that you're going to look at, or that you're going to look for or look out for in the next one. And so that should hopefully be most of the reason behind why you are attracted to what you are, because you've had experience with this either working or not working. And so I think oftentimes that is the cure to kind of having too high or too low of standards, is just having experience, putting yourself out there. And even though that's kind of going against what I said at the beginning of attracting rather than pursuing, but when you are at a place where you are attracting people and you have become self-reliant and your self-confidence is a lot higher and people are naturally wanting to speak to you, then you can kind of see that more and see, oh, okay, this person likes me because of this, or I like this person because of this. I like this quality. I'm going to look for that in the next person if this doesn't work out. Or I really don't like this one, so I'm going to watch out for this in the next person. And you're only going to gain that through experience. And to give a broader example of kind of the habits that I see with this, is a lot of people that I know who have very little dating experience, when I ask them what their type is, what they're looking for, it's kind of high standards. It's kind of, well, I want somebody who is, X height, makes X money, has X this, X that, somebody who is trustworthy, responsible. They list every good quality that we all want, right? And basically they list a perfect person. And when you have enough experience, you kind of realize how unrealistic that is, that the perfectness doesn't come from just the one person. It comes from a combination of both of you, that you are growing together and you're learning together. And that's often overlooked and you kind of forget that, but you start to learn that through experience. And if you're sitting there right now and you're like, well, I don't have any experience, I barely have any, I mean, I'm kind of with you. I really have only ever had like 2 semi-serious relationships where I've learned a ton for sure, but you kind of have to go off of just your intuition sometimes. And I'm definitely pretty far off from kind of knowing exactly what I want in another person. I think mostly because I don't know what I want for me to give to the other person. And until I really know that and know what I have to offer, I don't know if I'll be able to see that in other people. So taking that step first, I think, is important and is kind of what I'm trying to do when it comes to this. So kind of to end that segment on people, that we attract what we think we are worthy of, or rather we accept the affection and the attraction from people that we think that we are worthy of. And sometimes we might be accepting lower than what we really are worthy of. And it's like that quote from the movie Perks of Being a Wallflower, that we accept the love that we think we deserve. And this is very true. And think about that also when going into anybody else and kind of seeing the habits that other people have, and if they're constantly complaining about relationship problems, that maybe they're accepting the love that they think that they deserve, and their self-worth is so low that they continue to accept these negative things. So something to think about, something to keep track of for yourself as well. And just real quick here at the very end, I kind of want to just throw in that this can be applied to anything. This can be applied to why we are interested in what we want to pursue educationally, why we want to pursue things financially, anything like that, where we shouldn't settle. We shouldn't accept things that are below what we know our worth to be. And oftentimes people will get screwed over financially because they get offered something that, seems like it's going to fix everything, when really they're really being offered a scam, and they don't realize that because they don't realize their own worth. And also because they might not be super aware, but when you have that self-confidence, you can kind of pick those things out a lot better. So yeah, you can apply this kind of thought process to quite a few things, but I think that attracting rather than pursuing is at least a good first step, and becoming somebody that you feel worthy of being, and that you know that you're living up to your potential first, then you can start to think about what other people think, and what other people might want to look for in you. And until you have that, then any rejection's gonna hurt a lot worse. So yeah, something to think about, something I've been pondering. And that's not to say that I haven't been pursuing people. There's a few girls that I would like to ask out that I've spoken to, but I haven't been as quick to the draw of asking them out, of getting numbers or anything like that. I've just kind of been enjoying just talking and kind of building that foundation. And there's no harm in being friends first, man. There's no harm there. And having female friends, or if you're a girl, having guy friends, can be very reassuring that you kind of have this insight into the opposite sex, and that it's better than not doing it in fear of a romantic rejection or anything like that. So yeah, put yourself out there, but remember that you're worthy of some great things. So get out there and get after it. Find you before you find others. So yeah, that'll be about it for now. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.